Along Florida's Gulf Coast as an approaching storm system is now expected to make landfall as a powerful hurricane. In Florida, Rory O'Neill.
Nearly all of Florida's Gulf Coast, from Tampa Bay to the Panhandle, is under a tropical storm or hurricane watch. Forecasters believe this system will pass between Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula, move over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, and intensify rapidly. The forecast is for a major Category 3 hurricane to make landfall on Thursday. The governor of Florida already declared a state of emergency to help prepare for this dangerous storm.
President Biden will make his final address before the United Nations General Assembly as President of the United States today. The president is expected to outline his foreign policy. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
Today's going to be something of an unusual speech because it's the president's final address to the world as president. And what he's going to say is that at times of great change and challenge over his more than 50-year career, he's seen the United States help pull the world together to overcome them. And he's optimistic that we can do that again today.
Vice President Harris will meet with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and other world leaders, but will not be attending the UN gathering. The White House is trying to de-escalate tensions between Israel and the Iran-backed militia Hezbollah. The U.S. is sending a small number of troops to the region. The Pentagon says the U.S. is taking the action out of an abundance of caution. Sullivan says the president hasn't given up on a ceasefire in the region.
But we're determined to keep at it, and the president this week in New York will be huddling with other leaders to try to bring about a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza, and really critically, to try to avert an all-out war in the Middle East.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is time for Coffee Ann on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday morning. It's September 24th. I'm Joe Callahan at the Coffee Ann table. We'll say good morning to Linda Tebow. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Ed Carew is here as well. Good morning to you, Ed.
Good morning.
Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group, and it's time for our first message from the Carew Investment Group. Ed?
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group with some simple advice about investing. Well, the truth is, there is no simple advice about investing. The old days of financial uptrends and downtrends lasting for days, weeks, and months long, they're gone. Sometimes trends last for only part of a day before changing direction. And investing is not an activity for those who can't take the time to study each twist and turn for the opportunity that it truly presents. Since 1987, we've seen them all, and we'll invest for you the same way we invest for ourselves, carefully, very carefully. And it won't cost you a nickel to talk about it with us. So give us a call at 765-8880. Our office is conveniently located at 2190 Menden Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right there, Ed. Thank you very much. And for those of you keeping track at home with your scorecard, that's North Attleboro 8, Bulls 0. You don't get it? The 8 Bulls
that
escaped the rodeo.
I'm a little tired today. Oh, yes.
You didn't hear about this,
The
Ed?
Bulls escaped.
Oh,
Yeah.
the bulls that are on the loose.
Yeah.
But they're
Actually,
not anymore.
They were on a lamb.
They were on the lamb, is right.
Yeah, but they got the last one.
They get the last one. Yeah. So, have you seen the video of it?
Yeah.
Of them charging the fence? And
I know. It's amazing no one got hurt.
if you watch the video, there is a woman. There's a blonde woman that's like running perpendicular to them, which was smart. She wasn't running in front of them. She was running to the side, and the bulls would just get out of our way, because we're running in a straight line.
Yeah.
But bulls, like other animals, like cows and horses, like that, once one decides to run, they all decide to run.
And I was surprised. Pretty much they stayed in a pack.
Yeah.
They're
just pack animals.
I don't think they're pack animals. Bulls.
Herd.
That's the word. Thank you. Dogs are pack. That's the word we were looking for.
So they captured the one bull almost very quickly. Then the 7 were loose, and then they were able to capture 6 all at once in someone's backyard in North Attleboro, which left 1 and they finally got that one last night.
Yeah.
And so I was sent an email by the executive vice president of PETA.
Oh, yeah.
People
Peter.
for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Her name is Tracy Ryman. In response to the escaping of the 8 bulls, when she sent this email, it was yesterday afternoon at 2:15. So the 8th bull had not been captured as of yet. And so her little paragraph that she sent us it says this, quote, "We have seen it last year in Utah, this summer in Oregon, and now in Massachusetts. When bulls, who can be quite manageable and even gentle when not provoked, get the chance to escape," I think she's missing a word here, "get a chance to escape after being shocked with electric prods, wounded with sharp spurs, and slammed to the ground in rodeos, they take it as anyone else would. Rodeos put animal torment at center stage, and PETA urges people everywhere to stay away. Meanwhile, these bulls deserve to live." Well, as far as I know, they are going to live. They're just going to go back to be returned to the rodeo. I don't think they're going to be destroyed.
Yeah, I don't think. Why would they euthanize? Well, I mean, they're beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of PETA, I'm not a big fan of rodeos.
No,
but that's just me.
I think I've been to one rodeo in my lifetime, and I was underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed? Oh, okay.
I wasn't impressed.
Ed, fans of rodeos or not?
Not really. I mean, I've been to one also at the Marshfield Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it. If I don't even know if people would consider that to be a rodeo. I mean, they build it up as a rodeo. There were bulls, and there were,
Yeah.
Well, I remember, you saw it on TV as a kid, or I did, and so okay, and I saw the guys that riding the bull to see how long they could stay on it as it was trying to buck them off. Well, as things go on, and like now they're wearing helmets, like hockey helmets.
Then they have a lot of padding
and the
too.
face guard. I'm like, this is not the way it was when I was a kid.
They have. Did you see?
They
have
in case
pads
they get kicked.
on too.
So I was like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
So I stay away from them. I didn't even know this one was coming.
Right.
And even if I did know, I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
So.
And I can't even remember where I was a kid, but we went to a rodeo, and I can't imagine where it was. I don't remember where it was, but it was real. I mean, they had all those things that you see on TV.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of letting the cow out, and then they go rope it and tie up its legs. I'm like, I don't know what the point of this is.
We really weren't brought up with that.
That's right.
You go down to Texas or Oklahoma,
it's huge.
out there, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And the reason they did that was they used to brand the cattle, and that's why they used to rope them to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
But you're right. If we were from there, that neck of the woods, we'd be a fan probably.
Mm-hmm. And I always thought being a rodeo clown is really kind of a silly job.
Dangerous.
Kind of a clown is a silly job.
That's a dangerous.
Putting your life in your hands.
Dangerous job for sure.
Yeah. You ever see the ones where I don't know what it must be called, like rodeo chicken or something like that, where they're actually like playing checkers or chess, and they let the bull out.
No.
So it's the last person sitting at the chessboard set wins, but you can hear the darn animal is charging at you.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, no thanks.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna lose. Congratulations, I lose. So.
Well,
Knock over the king.
But I'm glad that they got them without anybody getting hurt.
No one got hurt.
Did you see the horns on those things?
Oh yeah,
and they're big.
And the lead bull, tried to leap the fence, but they're 2,000 pounds, if not more, and they can't get much height when they jump, and it just basically jumped through the fence, and just knocked it out of the way. Okay, we're running. The joke was we're running to Emerald Square Mall. There was a sale at Macy's. They were running right towards it. Wow. So, but yes, I'm glad they were all caught and no one got hurt, and the bulls didn't get hurt either.
Well, they didn't get hurt either. They looked, okay.
They looked fine.
They looked healthy and okay. I was just surprised because I know cows are herd animals, but they're bulls.
Same thing, I guess.
Well, I didn't think the bulls hung around together. I don't think, because everybody's trying to be the alpha bull. But I know they did, because they're all trying to be the alpha bull, and want all the lady cows, and
do you find horses are like that too, Ed?
Horses are herd animals.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
there's the alpha horse, and everybody will follow him.
Follow.
Okay.
That's what I mean. So there's always an. Well, did you see in those fires, those wild horses? They were all together.
Oh, the
running
Big
away.
E. The Big E had a fire.
No,
They-
out
they
in
got-
California.
Oh, okay.
And
I
the
didn't see
wild
that.
horses were all
Oh, wild horses.
running
Okay.
away from, and they, I mean, talk about a herd, lots of them.
Yeah.
Beautiful animals, beautiful, beautiful. They were
Yeah.
running away.
But there was a fire at the Big E this year.
Was
and
there?
they got like 148 horses out of whatever building they were in. So,
Oh, yeah.
so that- so
These,
that was
they
good.
said, were wild horses.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Looking pretty dang good for
Yeah.
wild horse. You know, they were well fed, looking beautiful.
But I think I've told the story before. My one time going horseback riding, 18 years old down at Lincoln Woods.
Lincoln Woods, was
and,
right there.
and they used to take you out
Yeah, on a
like
trail.
5 horses at
Yeah,
a time.
yeah, yeah.
So you had to sign up early. And when I got there, they said they asked me, have you ridden a horse before? I said, well, no, I really haven't. Well, gee, this horse should really have an experienced rider. But here you go. Great.
Yay.
So, for whatever reason, I'm second in line. There's the leader, then there's me, and then there's the other horses behind us. And we're walking along. This isn't bad. This is kind of nice. I like being on here. And the leader just turns around to the rest of us. Okay, we're going to run. No discussion. No, wait a minute. No. We're going to run. And her horse took off. Because she got it to move, and my horse took off. Okay, now we're running.
Holding on to
And
the horn.
I learned quick, Ed,
I have a similar story.
that you can't really control a horse when it's running. I said, if I get into the flow of the run, oh, this is much better. And I did. Figured that out on my own. I'm like, wow, that was impressive. What's your story?
When I first started riding, when I met Jane,
Yep.
she had horses and stuff. And, first started riding. Anyway, I took it to Aruba with me, that first year.
Okay.
And she said, hey, do they have horses here, right? I said, yeah. So
Right on the
she says,
beach, right?
Let's go. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. She says, can we go horseback riding? So I said, yeah, sure. So I paid for that. They pick you up at your resort.
Mm-hmm.
They bring you we went to a place called Rancho de Mari,
Uh-huh.
which was on the other side of the island. And we went over there, and there's about 15 people, because there's people coming in from the cruise ship and
Yeah.
different stuff. They had about 15 people going on the ride, and they ask you, like you said, has anybody ever ridden a horse? And most people hadn't.
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah, I have ridden maybe 3 or 4 times. Right?
Oh, you have the experience.
And Jane says, yeah, I've been riding for 40 years.
All right, there you
whatever.
go.
So anyway, the guy says, okay. Says, very good. He tells her which horse to take. He gives her this horse to
Yep.
take. And so he says to everybody, follow him expert. I said, whoa.
Not Jane.
Not Jane,
Because
me.
Yeah.
because you were a
You were the
fella.
man.
So
Yeah.
you're the expert.
Yeah,
Oh, wasn't
right.
that funny?
Oh, my gosh. Him
How
expert.
did that go?
It went okay. I was about 3rd or 4th in line, and as we went along, well, my horse wanted to be the lead horse. I guess that's what he did.
Oh, that's why.
okay.
'cause
So the guy said, "Come around, come around."
around.
So I went around the front, and
Yeah.
it all went fine.
the horse knew what he was doing.
The
Yeah.
horses know where they're going.
Yeah,
First
right,
of all,
yeah.
they do it every day. And we get up. We went up over this hill onto like a beach, and all of a sudden the horse just took off like
yeah.
a bat out of hell. Right?
It's time to run.
Yeah, and everybody run behind it, and I didn't know he was gonna run. So, I was holding on. I made it. It was okay. But the horse took off, and Jane took off after me on the horse she was on, because she said, he's gonna get killed. Worked out okay. One guy
Wow.
did fall off though.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah. It was an older guy. And he fell off the horse. He had never ridden before, and he was from the cruise ship,
Yep.
and he was with a
Was this
younger
horse-
woman.
Was this horse running at the time? Is that when he fell
Yeah,
off?
he went
Okay.
off the horse, broke his hip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they
Oh,
came and get him with
serious.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
with a little beach vehicle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go cart you away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
No, I bet he never went on a horse again.
Probably not. Probably should have never gone there the
I'm not-
first time.
I
First
guess
time,
not.
Right,
But
yeah.
him expert.
That's right. That's great.
Expert. What he should have said, horse, expert, right?
Horse
The
is
horse
expert.
knew what he was
That's
doing.
right. Horse knows what it's doing.
That's funny.
All right, so we're glad the Bulls are all set and are back home where they need to be. All right, 2 weeks ago, Linda, Ed was right again, talking about the Feds.
I know.
Going to drop the
Always
interest
right.
rate. He said it'll be between
Yeah.
a quarter and a half, and they went the whole
They went
shooting
whole-
match.
Yeah,
The
they
whole-
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
They decided to go the whole 50, not 50%, but half a
50
percent.
what is it?
0.5%. 50 basis points.
What-
50 points.
Points,
Yeah.
right,
50
points.
basis points.
Points.
Okay.
I
So
remember that.
is that it then for a while now until like the new year?
The
Or?
next meeting is the day after the election.
Okay. And what will they
So-
decide then? Is dropping it more?
Well, I mean,
on the
there's a
table?
ways to go, so a lot of
Yeah.
numbers will come out. But if I have to, gun to my head,
Yeah.
25 basis points the next time would
So
not
they
be
may-
a surprise.
So they may drop it again.
Yeah.
Or just
yeah.
leave it alone.
That first one was the beginning of a series of drops,
Yep.
which will probably be the way the Fed normally does is whatever they start to do, they'll continue to do for a period of time. And they went 50 basis points, which is a little bit more than some people thought, a little bit more than I thought, because I knew it'd be 25 or 50, but I was leaning towards 25. But they'll continue on, but it won't be 50, 50, 50, 50. That would, if they did that, then you'd know the economy is in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, and so they don't want to do that. They don't want to spook anybody. But
Do you think it'll matter who wins, what they do?
no,
No.
the Fed is independent.
Well, I know they're independent, and I know they're supposed to be apolitical. But they
No,
won't.
it doesn't matter who wins.
Doesn't matter. Okay. All right.
All right. We're going to take a break on the coffee end right now, so it's time for a second message from Ed Carew and the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Are you retired or retiring soon? Well, that's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal investment management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k distribution after they leave the workforce. So to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. And the Coffee and program will continue. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio in Woonsocket.
Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. Just taking a look at the front page of today's Blackstone Valley Call-in-Times. Every now and then, the Woonsocket Police Department does this. They send out people, do a little check to the liquor stores to see if they're asking for minors. See if they're asking for ID.
Yep.
For people that should look like minors, you should be asking. 4 people got cited. 4 different liquor stores were they hit the Providence Street Liquors right on Providence Street, Woonsocket Discount Liquors, Hill Liquors over on Cumberland Hill Road, and Minuteman Liquors right up the road here at on Park Ave. So the clerk gets cited, not the actual store. So the clerks, they get in trouble. So 3 of them, the one from Providence Street Liquors, the one from Woonsocket Discount Liquors, and the one from Hill Liquors, are all issued citations for selling alcohol to a person under 21, and they get it's the equivalent of a parking ticket of what they're gonna pay for a fine. So what, $25? I don't know what a parking ticket goes for these days.
And nothing happens to the owners, huh?
Well, nothing yet, unless this happens on a more regular basis.
Yeah,
The other offender over at Minuteman Liquors, this is his second offense of selling alcohol to an underage person, but his first offense happened back in 2017, so quite a while ago. But the charge of delivering alcohol was later dropped, and it doesn't say why. So yeah, you would think you just get into a routine of asking for IDs from people, but maybe not. I don't know. I know I would. That was my job.
Well, you see the signs. I think it's a hoot sometimes. You can, some of the stores you can get liquor, the regular stores, and they have a thing, we card everyone.
Well, yeah.
And so, you're asking somebody that looks like me, can I see your license? And yeah.
And you laugh.
And I say thank you. Yeah. Yeah. No, but you laugh. But, that should probably be the rule. No matter what you
just
look
do it for
like,
everybody, yeah.
That it's a routine thing. We card everyone.
Police reports say officers partnered with at least one unidentified teenager who went to the liquor store with cash and asked to buy alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
All the offenders allegedly fulfilled the decoy customer's wishes without asking to see any identification. After the sale was completed, the police announced themselves to the offenders and returned the unlawfully purchased product to them along with the money they'd taken for it. Then they handed them the summons to answer a charge in 6th District Court. The undercover compliance sting included other liquor stores that apparently passed the test without incident, but they don't say which ones were those liquor stores that did ask for the ID. And I wonder what the undercover decoy says when they're asked for their ID. I don't have it.
Yeah.
It's out in the car.
Well, when you say that the charges were dropped, I remember because I used to be the drug prevention person in North Smithfield for a while, and we used to be part of that. Go check on them and everything, and I know some of them would say it's an entrapment kind of a thing, that you bring somebody in and you wonder.
Well, we're not lawyers, but is it?
With this, I don't know, but I'm telling you, we had a couple,
that used that
brought that up.
Yeah.
So,
well,
but I don't know. I'm not a lawyer either, and I
is it
don't
entrapment?
play one on television.
You're not a lawyer either. So.
No.
And we don't even play one on TV.
I know.
Or on radio either.
I know. Not a heavy hitter.
Well, maybe it's not. Maybe they won't worry about the lawsuits if the objective is to get the clerks to ask everybody.
And I think, but that comes down from the owners of the place. You put up a little sign, we card everybody.
But maybe they're not. Maybe they are told that and they're not following it.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But they still own the liquor license.
Well, the owners do. Yeah.
The owners own the liquor license, not
the clerks. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So you got to be on your guard, and in restaurants too. Bars and things like that.
They ask, yeah.
And,
I've seen that many times at Stone Forge or Boston Tavern.
Yeah.
Two
you see
places.
the bartender?
Yeah.
If somebody that looks young, especially if a guy and a girl walk in, sometimes they'll card the girl.
Yeah.
And not the guy?
They may know the guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
Okay.
If they know you, they know you.
Right.
Yeah,
You've been here
right,
before.
yeah.
Yeah, but they'll see somebody come in and they'll ask for an ID. I've seen that many times.
Okay. Well, smart of them. But you never know. People are not perfect, and they slip up, and maybe they're thinking of something else, and they look okay. But I have been at when I noticed that it was at the Xfinity Center back when it was Great Woods, and they card everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely everybody.
That's the best way, the safest way.
And but of course, if you're the bartender there, your boss is basically standing behind you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And so if you don't ask, you're gonna get caught right away,
Yeah.
not asking for one.
Right.
But it's gonna, kids are gonna try it.
Of course they are.
It happens with every generation.
Yeah.
And, my daughter's at school in a dorm.
Yep.
She's already seen drunk people.
Of course she has.
They're all 18.
Of course she have.
And she's questioning me. How are they getting the liquor? Well, they know someone that's older is how they're doing it.
Tell her.
I'm not going to tell her how to get it. I go, they know somebody.
This is what you do.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, they also know where they can go. Not only they know somebody, or they know a place where they don't card everybody.
Well, that's right.
And
I knew that when I graduated high school in the mid '80s, and we knew.
Where you could go.
We knew which liquor store in Central Falls didn't bother.
Yeah.
And,
No, that's
and
what I mean.
everybody knew it.
Yeah, that's.
So that's where you went.
Yeah.
They had some weird rule. If you didn't have your ID, you just say, "Oh, I forgot it." Sign the book.
Oh, right. I remember that was a
All
thing
right.
too.
You sign the book
They
and
have them sign
the book, and you put down your birth date.
Yeah.
You just put on a fake date.
Well, that's what I mean.
So
No, you know
silly.
what? Now that you said that, I remember that. Sign the book.
Sign the book. Well, I don't know what
does
this.
that mean?
I don't know.
I can
And
sign
so,
whatever I choose.
sign
I don't
whatever I
even have
want.
to sign my name
Mickey
because you can't
Mouse.
check it. I don't have a license, right?
That's right. So,
Yeah.
but if that's what you
I
want us to
forgot
do,
about
well,
that.
okay. So.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's I cannot remember the name of the liquor store, by the way. It's in Central Falls.
Just as well.
I guess it's just
Yes,
as good.
it's
Maybe
probably just as well.
It's probably not there anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
yeah,
And
but-
you signed the book?
Yes.
You little devil.
Oh, yes, I did. All right. I got a lousy signature anyway.
We won't tell your daughter.
It's a scribble and like that. No, the best one is I'm out to this is, checking IDs at restaurants, and there's a place on Route 1 in North Attleboro, and it kept changing hands. I don't think it's a restaurant now anymore, but I'm out to eat with my parents, and I think I'm 19 or I'm 20. All right.
Almost there.
And that's right. I'm almost there. And the we had to wait for our table, and the waitress comes around and she's looking for drinks. And we got my father and got my mother. She came to me, and I ordered a beer, and I could see out of the corner of my eye my mother go, "Ha!" Like I got. Yeah, like if they bring you one, fine. But then the waitress said, "Oh, can I see an ID?" And my mother's, still kind of smirking to herself when I reached into my wallet and I handed over something, and she looked at it, said okay, and handed it back to me. And my mother very slyly goes, "I want to see that when we get to the table." Fine. And so I got a beer out of that, Ed.
You got a fake ID.
And this is the funny part. I think the statute of limitations has run out on this, by the way. So I can't be charged. She got to the table and she goes, "I want to see, what did you hand the waitress?" So I handed it over to her, and it wasn't fake, but it wasn't mine.
Oh.
It was my older brother's. It was his expired license.
You devil.
Back when they didn't take
And
him
she
back
did-
anymore.
Wow.
And so he had his real license, and I just had his. And she goes, "But this isn't you." I said, "If you listen to what the waitress said,
Do you have an ID?
she says I need an ID. Okay, here's someone's ID." She didn't ask me for my ID.
You are a devil.
I'm splitting hairs.
I hope your daughter's not listening.
She's not
Dad.
nothing to worry about. But she doesn't have an older sister, so there's
There you
nothing to
go.
worry about. So.
And she didn't even check to see if it was an expired license, the waitress.
Nope. She just took it and
Okay, that's you.
and went. No, really, just looked at the date. I don't
Yeah.
even know if she looked at the picture. But I would use it. This back in my good college days, to get into clubs, and I remember this one specifically. Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel.
Lupo's, yeah.
This is the second Lupo's, by the way. I think they've had 3 or 4. This is number 2. And they asked for an ID to get in. And when I handed it to the bouncer, specifically took his thumb and put it over the picture to hold it. And then just looked at the date and then gave it back to you that way. And did it with everybody that was in line.
Really?
That's how they,
That's how they let you
They
in.
handed the picture. They hand you the license. They put their thumb over the picture. So it could have been anybody. And then they just looked at the date and okay, go on in. Because he didn't care.
Those were the good old days.
Those were the good
Joe.
old days. Those were the fun times. Let me tell you. All right, enough illegal activity. Other things going on. Let's see, the deadline for the Washington Bridge Small Business Grant Program has been extended for people down there in East Providence. The Rhode Island Commerce says the new deadline for the program is October 8th, just a couple of weeks away at 5 p.m. Businesses must be physically located in Providence and must have experienced a revenue loss of at least $500 and only $500? Okay, at least $500 and 10% revenue loss as a result of the Washington Bridge reconstruction. The original deadline was today, but they've extended it out a few days. You would think businesses that certainly have lost money be jumping at this to try to recoup some of the money. So, and I hope they get a chance to do that. So, that's a good thing. They keep saying we Dave and I were kind of laughing about it yesterday, Ed, because they kept talking about when is deconstruction going to resume? Yeah. On the bridge, and they kept everyone always keeps saying we believe it's going to start soon. Soon. We believe, and soon. When is soon?
Define soon.
Well, we can't define soon. We can't tell you. So.
How long do you think it's going to take? I'm thinking at least 5 years before that bridge is built.
Before it's rebuilt? Well, oh my gosh!
At least 5 years.
Yeah. I'll give it 5.
That's what it's going to take. I'm thinking 5 years.
I think it's going to take at least into 2025 before they even take the whole thing down.
Right, because they're
trying to save stuff for lawsuits.
Yeah.
They're suing companies. They don't want to destroy any evidence.
Right. They have to keep.
So that's why they've stopped taking it down.
Couldn't they take a picture?
That's what I said.
Yeah,
take a picture and use that. But no, they want the actual physical evidence of the bridge.
Then they're not going to be able to take it down totally for a long time. Because the courts take a long time.
I know. Unless they can have everybody come out that's involved in. Okay, take a look at it. Then does everybody agree this is what it is? Mm-hmm. And then we can get rid of it.
Oh, I don't know. I thought they had done that already.
All right. Let's see. We're going to get to a note when we come back, but we're going to take a break right now. Bringing the weather forecast brought to you by Indeed.com.
Mostly cloudy skies with a high of 63. Chance of sprinkles today and a calm wind. Tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 53. Wednesday's weather, cloudy skies, 64. Thursday, a 40% chance of showers during the day, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, and 69. Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 73. Saturday, partly sunny and 68. Sunday, mostly sunny and 70. And next Monday, mostly sunny skies and a high of 71 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, where we do have mostly cloudy skies and 58 degrees. Making the hiring process work for you with Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution, you can attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
When you visit State Line Services' website, you'll see a wealth of information about them and the 20 kinds of specialties they offer, including cooling system maintenance, emission testing, exhaust systems, and computerized engine analysis. Because today's vehicles are a complicated piece of equipment with a network of sensors that monitor your vehicle's performance. In other words, you need an expert. State Line Service and Tire Center, 1209 Social Street, Woonsocket, at the State Line. 765-0146. New customers are welcome.
Lou Mandeville here to tell you the only place to get your local high school and college scores, as well as the Pats, Bruins, Celtics, and Sox is on my morning sports reports. And they are right here on ON 1240, Monday through Friday on the Morning Fun Show.
It's Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan, along with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. We get a note called in at 766-1240, and it just says the fines for selling alcohol to a minor from a liquor store can range from $350 to $1,000 for a first offense in Rhode Island, depending on the circumstances, and could face up to 6 months in jail. Okay, I'm just going by the story in the call written by Russ Olivo, and he just says that it's all first citations for the three clerks at Providence Street Liquors, Woonsocket Discount Liquors, and Hill Liquors. They all say it's the citation for selling to a person under 21. First offense, it's the equivalent of a parking ticket because they are first-time offenders. That's according to police reports. The other person, it's a second one, so his fine might be a little higher. It mentioned nothing about jail time or what the actual amount might be. But so there you go. So that's where we are.
Is that saying that fine goes to the clerk or to the store?
The fines for selling alcohol to a minor liquor store can range. This doesn't say. So maybe the store gets
fined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to get the 6 months in jail.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, if you had to go to prison. Of course, the other prison's going to ask you, "What are you in for?" Talk about a weak offense, selling alcohol to a minor.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see other things going on. We talked about the bull that was captured. So that's good right there. You hear about this every now and again. It's not good, but an office manager for a Pawtucket medical practice has been sentenced for misappropriating almost $570,000 in funds, plus $11,000 in temporary disability insurance benefits. So they knew what forms to fill out and what needs to go and where it goes where in order to siphon off this money from this medical practice. They also get 27 months in federal prison, so a little over 2 years, and pay back nearly $580,000 in restitution. That's going to be the tough part. They probably spent the money on stuff. Let's see. She added family and friends as unauthorized paid employees and used patient co-payments for personal credit card debt, cell phone bills, and college tuition payments for a family member. Wow. She went on medical leave. She was later terminated from the practice, but received TDI benefits even though she found a new job. So that's she's really pushing her luck of what you can do. So that was just in Pawtucket. So, wow. I ran across this one other time. There was a dental practice that my daughter used to go to, and because it was pediatric dental, and they found out the office manager there was skimming off the top and taking a lot of money, and you get away with it once, and okay, and no one notices because I keep the books or something like that, and they think that everything's fine.
Yeah.
But someone's watching, usually the owner.
Yeah, the owner.
Hey, something's wrong, and they start your investigation, and that's what happens.
Well, plus they do audits.
That's right.
They do. They have to.
I'm sure they have an accountant.
Oh yeah.
Well, how come? Why am I missing so much money?
Yeah.
And so, it caught up to this woman in Pawtucket. So, there you go.
Wow.
That the middle school teacher in Providence is being held without bail. 50-year-old man was charged with sexual assault and child pornography charges. The judge also ordered a no contact order. Well, that kind of goes without saying, I guess. For 50-year-old Joseph Gannon, he was taken into custody at school on Friday. How embarrassing is that, by the way? When you're there with your students are all around, and here come the Providence police to arrest you at noontime. It's like, yikes. So the victim notified Providence police, and Cannon's next court date is scheduled for September 30th. And it's funny, not that it's funny. I shouldn't use that word. But Ed, we kind of had the same situation up in Brockton, and there was a guy following a middle school girl home from school, trying to get her to come into his car or follow him somewhere, and he grabbed onto her. She was able to get away and ran to either the nearest school and to tell what was going on. And now the guy, his defense, I heard it a bit yesterday. He's saying it's a case of mistaken identity. I said, what does mistaken identity have to do with it?
Yeah.
If you're the adult and you're grabbing underage girls on the street, did you think it was, this is a friend of mine, or this is my cousin, and I grabbed the wrong girl? And I said, no, that's a weak defense.
Kind of weak.
Yeah. So, all right. And they had a big drug bust in Providence at Kennedy Plaza.
Kennedy Plaza, I saw that.
22 people facing drug-related charges. This is another thing where you're doing the illicit stuff right out in the open, but the police are building a case against you, and so they're down there, and they could be dressed as bus drivers, they could be dressed as any other kind of workers, but they're observing you. And that's how they build the case against you. And the people that are doing wrong just get used to seeing these people all the time. So, okay, but they're not turning me in, so everything's fine. So They announced yesterday 14 of the 22 were previously charged with a felony or violent crimes, including robbery, sexual assault, and illegal firearms charges. 10 are probation violators, and most of those charged are Providence residents. So they're trying their best, I guess, to clean up Kennedy Plaza.
But that's a lot of number. That's a lot. I mean, what did they say?
22 arrests?
22.
Yeah.
22 people in one area.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Not good. Huh?
No, that there were that many there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. They're doing their best. Kennedy Plaza is not a fun place to be.
No.
You're really going to be paying attention when you're down there. So, and let's see. And the other thing going on, Lifespan's trying to buy the 2 hospitals in Massachusetts, Ed, down in Fall River and in Taunton. But now they go and lay off 20% of their executives.
Of their executives.
Yeah. The ones making the big bucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if we save the money we save from there, will help us buy the 2 hospitals.
Yeah. Right.
And maybe they bring them back later on, but who knows? But who knows what their plans are going to be?
They're trying to do a one system kind of a thing. So instead of having an executive here, an executive there doing the same thing,
well, right.
They're trying to
now they
expand his responsibilities.
Lifespan says that these layoffs will save the Lifespan $6 million in the fiscal year that starts October 1st. And that's going to be put right towards buying buying the 2 hospitals, I would say. So, have you heard of any? You haven't heard of any hiccups going on with the sales, Ed, in Mass?
No.
For the 2 Steward hospitals?
Nope.
Okay. So, all right, that thing's moving forward the way it should be. So good. And no new information. We mentioned this yesterday because they found human remains in Barrington.
I saw that.
And
they said they were old, though, and not.
They said they've been there for quite a while.
Quite a while. Yeah.
This is back to we're going to start working on it soon. How long is quite a while?
Yeah, right.
Is it a couple of months, or are we talking like a couple of decades, or somewhere in between?
Yeah, I'm sure they have to do some forensic studies to
They do. They haven't even said
how long they've been there.
They haven't even said if it's a man or a woman.
No,
not yet.
They need.
We really gotta get down to it and find out what's going on there. And let's see. They've up in Massachusetts, they've appointed a lead investigator. They're looking into the death of the Massachusetts State Police trainee, Enrique Delgado Garcia. David Meyer has been named by Attorney General Andrea Campbell to look into the death of the 25-year-old recruit that was taking place in that boxing event that was taking place.
They stopped doing that now.
Yeah, well, that was the governor. Initially came out and said, "Stop," or "Let's stop that." And now there's a new, and I saw Maura Healey on the news, and she said there's a new colonel coming in to run the state police. I'm not sure when they're starting. Yeah. Any idea, Ed? No,
I haven't heard.
Okay, there's someone new is coming, and she goes, "That's like her going to be that person's first responsibility." Giving to them by the governor is to take a look at everything the state police does in their recruiting process and what they do for training. And get rid of the stuff that's no good and keep the stuff that works. So we'll see what happens with this. I didn't know yesterday, but I know now Worcester District Attorney Joe Early recused himself from the investigation. I'm like, gee, why would he do that? And turns out that the man that died, Delgado Garcia, worked in his office. Yeah, I said, "Oh, well, okay."
Very close. Yeah.
So that'd be a conflict of interest right there. So okay, that makes sense. So, but the man that died, he had bigger injuries than you would normally get from just your regular boxing. I think there's a lot more to come out.
Well, I'm sure they'll find it
with this the investigation that's going on there. So. All right, and let's see other things going on. They closed a beach in Ipswich, Massachusetts, Crane Beach, a week or so ago because a great white shark was spotted.
Oh, really?
Swimming in about 200 feet like off the coast, which is not very far.
No, that's not. No.
And they said, okay, no one can go in. The shark is still there.
Really?
Well, the eatings must be good.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
The seals must still be hanging around.
Yeah.
So there's still not that you want to go swimming at this time of year. I mean, it's kind of chilly.
A little bit chilly now.
But the beach is still closed because the shark sightings still continue. Now they're saying multiple great white sharks
Really?
have been spotted. Well, the word gets around. The food's
Yes,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, this is where we go.
5-star restaurant, right?
Multiple great white sharks have been spotted near the beach over the last several days, including 5 that were swimming together in a pack. Do sharks
They're a
swim?
pod. They're a pod.
Do they herd?
No, I think they're a pod, though.
Oh, they're a pod.
Whales are
yeah.
a pod.
Yeah, that's right. Sharks, dolphins.
I didn't think sharks liked each other too much.
I don't know.
I didn't think they liked anybody.
Okay. Well, not anybody. Well, they were swimming in a pack.
Well, no, I don't think they're a pack.
Okay,
Pod
but
sounds better. Raft. No, that's geese.
I'm glad. I'm glad they were able to spot 5 together as opposed to, well, we've seen several. Well, how do you know it's not the same shark you keep seeing over and over and over? But they've spotted
they saw
5
them together, so they
okay.
know. It's not like
right.
soon, right?
Well, it's not like you head out there on a Monday. Oh, there it is, and you go back on Tuesday.
See 'em again.
Oh, there's another one. There must be 2 here.
Right? Yeah. No, they
But
saw them.
they saw 5
They
together.
were having a conference.
Yes, they're having a discussion. Officials will continue to reassess the situation. The beach will reopen for swimmers as soon as the waters are deemed safe. But it's too cold.
Who's swimming now?
When it's 59 degrees
Yeah.
outside, and the water temperature
The water's
drops
got to
quickly.
be. Well, I'm thinking the
Especially
shark.
at night.
They don't like the cold.
I don't know.
at
Yeah, I
night.
don't understand why
So
they're
it
still
must
here.
still be warm.
Warm enough for them.
Warm
I
enough for
guess.
them. It must
Before
be
they
warm
said,
enough for them,
let's
yeah.
start heading south and get
Yeah.
out of here. All right, Linda's gonna go.
I gotta go.
She's got a good breakfast to get to. That once again we
going
were
to
not invited
Stephen
to.
Marie
No, I
Breakfast
don't
Club.
understand this.
The Breakfast Club. Well, enjoy.
Well, that's what it is. Okay. We'll see you next week.
All right, Linda, thank you
See
very
ya.
much. More of Coffee In is coming your way. Please stick around. We will be right back.
As drivers, we encounter motorcycles on the road every day, and motorcycle safety is a two-way street. So give motorcycles extra space when stopping and starting. Check your mirrors and blind spots. Share the road, but never try and share a lane. Every rider could be a father, a son or a brother, a mother, a daughter or a sister, or the whole world to someone very special. Brought to you by the Rhode Island Police Chiefs Association and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Celebrate St. James, CYO, and Youth Ministry in Manville, Rhode Island. In honor of the parish's 150th anniversary, a CYO and Youth Ministry open house reunion will be held on Sunday, October 27th from 1 to 4 p.m. in the parish gym. Reconnect with friends and relive your favorite memories from sports, dances, plays, singing in the choir, and more. For more information, visit stjamesmanville.org. That's SAINT, jamesmanville.org. Don't miss out. Spread the word and celebrate with us.
All right, it is Coffee In on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew. Linda Tebow had to go. Other things going on in the news. Things you can't do, Ed.
Okay, I'll stop.
This is one of the things you can't do. If you like to fly your drone, and some people do, and that's perfectly fine until you go over a public gathering.
Like the Boston Marathon?
Like the Boston Marathon would be one. A Boston man has quickly settled federal charges for flying a drone over the finish line at the Boston Marathon this past April. 30-year-old Alan Knipp was charged with unlawfully flying a drone in a national defense airspace because of what happened with the Boston Marathon bombing. All right. The drone was detected by federal law enforcement monitoring the finish line, causing them to seize it from the air to determine whether it was dangerous. I wonder how they grabbed it out of the air. Was it flying that low that they were able to grab it or throw something at it?
I don't know.
Okay. Police later went to Knipp's apartment in Boston where he admitted to flying the drone. Knipp has agreed to pay a fine and forfeit his drone as part of a deferred prosecution agreement. Yeah, if you don't have approval from the organization that you're at, you're in trouble from doing that. And I've seen it happen at Polo Park. I've seen it happen at Fenway Park. People fly it over, and they're not trying to do anything malicious. least I don't think so. What they're really trying to do is watch the game for free, is what they're trying to do. So there's always cameras on the drones, and so that they're hovering and trying to get pictures. Well, the baseball people are hip to this kind of thing, and they will stop the game. Game stops, players off the field, because we don't know what the drone is capable of doing, and the game doesn't start again until the drone flies away.
Wow.
And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen on TV, and they've actually said, "Well, we've had to stop the game because there's a drone over Fenway Park." And I've been at Polo Park where it's happened, and the PA announcers actually come on. I don't know if they did this at Fenway, and they said, just on the off chance that the drone operator is in the park as well, you can't be doing this, and please fly it away. Now, we don't think that the actual operator of the drone is actually in the park. But then the drone does eventually fly away because nothing's going on. The players have left the field. The game is stopped, all because of you. And so, all right, well, this is dull. And so they end up flying it away. So, yeah, but you can't do this over these public gatherings. You're gonna be stopped. And that one, you couldn't grab it out of the air. It's just way too high up.
I would think there must be a way to jam the signal and have it come down.
I don't know if the parks would have that kind of technology.
Well, maybe the park doesn't, but you were saying about the Boston Marathon. How did they grab it?
Yeah.
The law enforcement may have a way of jamming the signal.
And therefore it falls?
I would think, yeah.
Okay. Because all it says is they were able to seize it from the air. And then they determined whether or not it was dangerous or not. Was it carrying any kind of explosive device on it or anything like that? But these drones, especially the bigger ones, are all licensed with the FAA, like airplanes. So there's numbers on it. And so it's pretty easy to find who the owner is. And so they went over to his apartment. Hello, we'd like to speak to you. Is this yours? And should I not have been doing that? Is that a bad thing? So yeah. All right. So our we get news stories from around the country of things that are going on, and our 8 escaped bulls made our national news.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was 8 bulls running down Route 1. Yeah. That makes news. That's something you don't see every day.
They're on their way to Longhorns.
I did see that joke. Because that was the joke. We captured 7. The 8th one's on the loose. It's over at the Longhorn. It's dinner tonight. Which was right across the street from that parking lot. There you go. So it's a sad day. Ed, the last full-size Kmart in the country is closing. It's in Bridgehampton, New York. Which I would assume it's in upstate New York somewhere. Or maybe it's on Long Island. I don't know where Bridgehampton is. I shouldn't just make that assumption. Okay. The Kmart in Bridgehampton, New York will shut down for good on October 20th. A smaller Kmart store in Miami is still in existence. So I don't know what's the difference between a full-size Kmart and a mid-size Kmart. I don't know. There were about 2,300 locations in the U.S. at the height of Kmart's existence. So the last full-size Kmart closes on October 20th. Sad?
Don't care.
Don't care. That doesn't affect you in the least.
Didn't care while they had 2,200 stores either. So.
All righty. So it really doesn't affect me either. So
no.
I'm not going to be rushing out to find out where Bridgehampton is. Can I get
there in time?
Get there in a day to get the good sale? No, I'm all set there. This is an interesting story though. This is out of California. California man who was abducted in 1951 when he was 6 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Has been found alive. How about that? The Mercury News in San Jose, California reported Luis Armando Albino has been located living on the East Coast. Albino's niece took an online ancestry test in 2020, one of those 23andMe kind of things, in 2020 that showed her DNA was a 22% match for a man on the East Coast. After scouring old newspaper stories, the niece took her hunch that the man could be her missing uncle to law enforcement. Investigators were able to locate Albino in June, and he was able to fly to California to reunite with family, including his brother. It's unclear if there's an ongoing investigation. I don't have in my story where he was living on the East Coast. Did you hear?
No, I didn't hear that. All I heard was East Coast. Yeah.
Well, it could be anywhere.
Yep.
I wonder why they're keeping that information away from us.
I don't know.
And maybe that's at his request. I don't know. But that's that's fascinating. That he's been found and he was able to reunite with his family.
Yeah, it is.
That's incredible. Wow. Alrighty. It's the on the sporting news. It's the last days for the Oakland A's. Did you know that?
You'll be moving out of the.
They're leaving Oakland.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Now, eventually, they're going to wind up in Las Vegas, but the Vegas ballpark is not ready yet and won't be ready next spring. So they're going to go play in Sacramento.
Really?
I would assume at a college that must be there. University of California at Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's the Red Sox last couple of days, last couple of games before the end of the season. Oakland's not making the playoffs, so it's their last few games of the season as well. And I guess the president of the college sent out a statement saying, we're very sorry. This is the end. We know there are lots of A's fans that still enjoy A's games in Oakland, not as many as they used to be. He talked about how they played in Philadelphia, they played in Kansas City, they played in Oakland, they moved a few times, but their greatest world championships and all that took place in Oakland. In those hideous green and yellow uniforms.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
But that's when they had their greatest strengths, but they've fallen on some really hard times. They couldn't swing it to get a new stadium there, and the fans are just not coming out to those games anymore out there. I don't know if it's where the stadium is. I don't know if it's ticket prices. I don't know what the real problem is out in Oakland. But this is it. This is the last of the Oakland A's. I don't know what they're going to call them next year, the Sacramento A's, I guess, before they finally move on to Las Vegas.
They'll find a place to play.
Oh, you'll always find a place to play.
Was it during COVID when Toronto played in
Buffalo? Yeah.
Yeah, they'll find a place.
Because the government wouldn't let the people in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can always find a place to play. And maybe there is a AAA affiliate.
Could be.
In that general area. And we can sit, 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Which would be fine because I think like 3,000 to 4,000 people are showing up for Oakland A's games right now. So that, that'll fit everybody. But it's sad that they've had to close and,
a lot of history there.
A lot of history with the Oakland A's, and you're right. The other thing I heard in the news was it was last night or the night before that the Chicago White Sox tied the 1962 New York Mets for the worst record
and they
ever.
have a chance to break it.
Yeah, that's
they still got a few games left.
A few games to go.
They could have that record all to themselves. I bet you the Mets are hoping they do.
Yeah, please get us off this list. We'll be second. They can have this. We'll give it to them. But tough being a Chicago White Sox fan.
Yeah.
This year, it's just been brutal out there, and the Cincinnati Reds they fired their coach, their manager as well.
Oh yeah.
And it happens every year it seems. But with a week to go with games, and you're not making the playoffs, why are you firing your manager now? Just wait to the end of the year. Wait for the year to end. Mm-hmm. Unless it's a money thing. I don't know.
How much are going to save on 4 days or something?
Well, I don't know. Does he get a bonus if he makes it to the end of the season? We're going to put an end to that. We're not going to pay this guy $100,000 just because he survived. No. So, okay. People will kill people over anything, Ed.
Oh, really?
And it's just, a man's dead after a dispute over a jukebox in Florida. Yeah. It happened early Monday morning at a Mexican restaurant in Fort Lauderdale. A TV station in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, reports a fight broke out when one man apparently insulted another over his choice of song on the jukebox. So one of them pulled a gun, prompting a second person to pull a weapon of his own and open fire. The first man was pronounced dead, while the suspect remains at large.
Wow.
Wow.
Must have really been a bad song.
Must have been a bad song. I'm trying to think, who could he possibly have picked?
I Shot the Sheriff.
Yeah, I like that song. I'm
I
thinking
do
maybe,
too.
maybe it was like a Boxcar Willie song, kind of thing. It's just, or Slim Whitman kind of
Whitman.
Don't you remember Slim?
I do.
Oh, there you go. Those were great albums. Anyway, but yeah, but you know, songs last, well, depending on the song, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then it'll be done, and then we move on to something else.
Yeah.
You will put up with it for the 3 to 4 or 5 minutes, and then you'll be all over. Your torture will be done. There's no reason to shoot somebody over that. And did you? I got to get Ed's opinion on this. It was last week. Vice President Harris was on with Oprah. And did you hear her say, if someone Harris said, if someone breaks into her house, I'm going to shoot him.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know she owned a gun.
Yeah, she did say that she owns a gun, and so does
And her husband, right?
Yeah.
And,
I think Tim Walz does too.
He does?
Well,
we would think so.
Whatever the heck his name is.
It's Walz. Yeah, you're right. I can see that with Minnesota, a big state, land of 1,000 lakes. So I can see where a lot of hunting is going on.
Yeah.
Especially in North Minnesota. It really surprised me about Harris saying that. Oh yeah, I'd shoot him. It's like, wow. Did that go over well with her Democrat party? Did they? Although she did kind of laugh about it and say, "Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that." Then tried to make, just kind of brush it off. So I was like, "Wow, look, I didn't realize that." So then she went on to say she's a big supporter of the Second Amendment, but she still wants.
Yeah,
how'd she put it?
She's a big supporter.
Gun laws or something like that.
Well, who's to say what's correct and what isn't?
Yeah,
correct?
I don't know. Well, she obviously her.
You know.
I don't know. So
I mean, it's correct for her to have one, but not correct for someone else to have one.
Really surprised Oprah though.
Yeah.
Oh, she was shocked. What I didn't even know you had a gun, and now you're gonna shoot? Wow, how about that? So, all right, that story had legs for about 30 minutes, and then it kind of went away. If it was the other way around, if Trump said, "Oh, I'd shoot somebody," I think we'd still be talking about it right now. Just the way, that's just the national media and how they do things. So, all right, that'll wrap it up for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. It's always appreciated. Thanks to Linda Tebow, who was here, and hopefully will be here for the entire show next week.
Yeah, let's hope so.
We're tying you to the chair next week. Ed Crew, thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
All right, I'm Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the Crew. Do You Remember is coming your way at 9:30 on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. That teacher from the Nathaniel Green Middle School remains held without bail following his arrest on sexual assault and child pornography.